being a victim. The old saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Was there a defining moment where I said I'm done being a victim?
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever had like a defining moment in my life. I do know like the progressive of me changing my life constantly and improving constantly became more of a like a defining life, right? So like
Hmm.
I don't remember that I had a defining moment. I do remember that I used to get in relationships and I used to get like get broken down mentally so much, because when you're with the wrong people and you're the wrong person for them, and I had a lot of trouble with that. And then one day I just woke up and I said, like, look, I'm not gonna show my son is not gonna grow up with me being weak like my father was. I'm not gonna live like this life of like like counting on other people to make me feel better about myself. So what I did was, for a long, long, long time, as I was rebuilding myself mentally and emotionally, I used to listen to a lot of Louise Hay. Do you know who that is?
Of
She
course they do, yeah.
she talks a lot about, she passed, but her teachings are awesome. And same with Wayne Dyer, But
Oh,
she
yeah.
she
Oh, yeah.
talks a lot about like mirror exercises, right? And basically the concept is you deserve the love that you give to others so freely. Like you deserve to give that love to yourself, right? Then you
Absolutely.
stop looking at it like, I want you to love me. I need you to help me. I'm going to help myself. I'm going to love myself. And that makes anybody in my world lucky. Because
Yeah.
now I'm not going into relationships. I'm not going into things where I'm like, please love me, right? It's not like I'm not a drain, right? I'm a faucet now. Like I'm the water, right? So I think like that was a shift that happened to me over time.
Yeah. And the same for me. It's, we depend, many of us growing up, we depended on other people to make us happy and to feel worthy. If they loved us, that meant that we were worthy, et cetera, et cetera. But, yeah, self-love is so critical, because when you can love yourself, now it's like other people just, they're bonuses. You don't
Exactly.
have to have them,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And life can be so much more enjoyable because you're not waiting on them to make you happy. Read my mind. This is what makes me happy. So that is very freeing as well. I'm going to ask you this. So, talking about outer circumstances and things like that, what do you do when you hear people talking about, and we hear this a lot in our business, unfavorable markets? Oh, the market is so crazy. There's no inventory. I can't, there's 20 offers. I can't get this. I can't get that, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe, not at this time, but let's say interest rates are going up, the COVID, all these external factors. How were you able to run a successful business regardless of what's going on the outside?
People make money in every single market, right? So I think also from a business standpoint, we got in 2009, so I haven't seen it bad, right? Then the other
Uh-huh.
thing is just like, look, if you have the opportunity to go and make deals happen, you should just be grateful that you even have an opportunity to go make deals happen, right? I also think that every market presents like obviously different, but let's just face it. I've made more money than I ever have in 2020, which was a pandemic year. Made more every year, no matter who the president was, no matter what the heck
Okay.
happened. I've increased my business. So I always think like it's all on you. There's
That's
opportunity in every single market. Like one book that comes to mind is Viktor Frankl, A Man's Search for Meaning. It's an awesome
yeah,
book, right? That
yeah,
like
yeah.
is like a super awesome book, and the guy was a psychologist who ended up in a concentration camp, right? And
Mhm.
he basically said the difference between some of the survivors that just like lasted the length and some that didn't is just hope, right? And just belief, right? And they just knew that something at the end would be okay. And I think like that mindset, short term and long term, gives you a completely different outlook. Because let's face it, like I always say this personally, if you have, like, if there's a person being successful, if they have a brain, 2 arms, 2 legs, whatever, you know, I have a brain, I have 2 arms, 2 legs, fingers, toes. Like, there's no reason I shouldn't be able to do, to make myself into something, right? Or at least try. I just don't think, like, I get it. Life is unfavorable. It's been to me for a long time, you know, like we could all say that. But for me personally, I just think like, hey, you're alive, you're here, you can go get it. The president's not going to stop you. This guy's not going to stop you. This girl's not. It's like up to you, you know? So if you, the only thing that's stopping you is like your mental ability. And I really believe that when people, when people try to, first of all, people try to knock you off your horse, that's on them. But it's also your responsibility to take charge of your life and how you're going to live it and what you're going to decide to do with it. I think, like, I know plenty of people, and I used to be like this, you, like, blame everyone and their mom, and you can't blame anyone. It's you put yourself in every situation that you've ever been in. So, and it's life, right? Like, I mean, let's face it. Life's like not always the easiest thing, but you got to be strong. And if you're not strong, you got to make yourself strong. And then you got to go out there and get stuff. And it's not, I don't think like anything has, I mean, it doesn't, but it really does not. Nothing is a factor of what you can do, right? It could be a pandemic. It could be whatever, you know, and you still can succeed. People do it all the time.
It's funny because the last few interviewees that I spoke with, I think 2020 was their best year. Interesting. Interesting. Right? Like, and Jarvid, you know Jarvid?
Yeah, I know Jarvid very well. We actually.
Who doesn't know Jarvid?
We hung out a bunch.
He says, ever since he was a kid, he always said, his mother told him, always make the best out of a crisis. So when COVID came around, he thought, all right, what can I do? And he took out a notebook, and started writing ideas, things that he could do. So regardless of what's going on, someone is always going to be succeeding. So it may as well be you.
Right, you know. And like other people's success don't stop you from being successful. You know?
Absolutely
like
not. Everybody's on their own journey.
There's plenty to go around, you know.
There's plenty. So, all right, final words of wisdom.